Hello and welcome to my Merryvine estate. This is one of two new houses that just showed up on the PTS server. This one is located in the new area of Westfield, up here in the north, right by the Valente Vineyards, which looked to be full of vampires when I ran by very quickly, out looking for the Way Shrine. So this may be why the poor vineyard doesn't have any customers. So showing off that gate, they did some beautiful design work in this area. So got this new house and a ton of new furnishings to go in it. No new real building furnishings, so I didn't go for a build here. I just went for decorating. But this is really clearly meant to be set up as a vineyard, and I leaned hard into that. I grew up on a street that had a ton of vineyards on it, and so I went for it with the vineyards and the wine tasting and the private venue to have parties and the whole 9 yards. And I was really going into detail, so unfortunately I ran out of slots, not realizing that this is only a 600 slot place, not a 700 like I had assumed it was. So we're going to have some very sort of naked areas inside where I ran out, and some very highly decorated areas. But hopefully you will forgive and enjoy this tour regardless. So, the cool new things they gave us with this update, or will give us in the real server with this update when we get it, are these these grapevine trellises. They gave us several different kinds. We've got a long and short one like this. We've got these arch trellises, open and closed, it says, and I will show you the open one later, but they're very similar. And then we also got one with nothing on it, which I did not include. But it's not an arched one. It's just an open one, which makes no sense to me, but let me show you really quick what I mean. My cat is in full mood. Full mood. So yeah, so we've got this as well. But I did not happen to use it here because I was focused on making this beautiful vineyard. So we finally have something to use that doesn't require us to use other plants and attach a whole bunch of grapes to it, which means that you can actually have enough to bake a whole vineyard. Very cool. So this place is obviously fall themed. There's constant falling leaves, which are beautiful. And one of the things I'm most excited for is this tree. Look at it. Giant autumn maple. It's gorgeous. It's in full color. Very excited about that. They also gave us some other trees, so this is our sort of tree showcase corner. Just to show off the options they gave us. And a lot of these I didn't bother to use in the actual decorating, thus why I'm showing them separately. So I sort of set this up as a workhouse area. These are very nice, these large wine barrels. Nice big space filler for setting up your vineyard. They've got these smaller ones as well. And these big baskets of grapes. Lovely big space filler. We've also got several two different sizes of crates filled with wine bottles. Nice. That'll be very nice decorating in future houses. Forget the vineyard, just in your regular house. Trying to put wine bottles inside of wine racks is my personal nightmare, and frequently leads to using too many spaces, and I have to go take them back out. So nice to have a bunch of them all together to use and stash somewhere and look like, yes, these people drink wine, which I don't, but, it's one of those things for in-game. I also made a couple of these Eleanor wine stomping barrels for here because that seemed appropriate, right? I mean, it's a vineyard. If we're going to go the whole 9 yards with it, we should, right? So we have our little wine tasting area. And these 2 buildings, I mean, you could do a lot of different things with them. But I thought that this place was already set up as a vineyard. That's perfect. This is what they should be used for in my head. I may change my mind later on if I ever get this place, but... So we got some new furnishings, individual wine bottles. These are different ones, very specifically the Colovian ones, are sealed ones, new wine goblets. Here are the aforementioned smaller crates and the larger crates back there behind. We've got the winemaking cork, and of course corkscrew to remove the corks. It's got a jar of honey, and that is another new exciting thing that they gave us, so I will show you that in a sec. And then we've got these basketed large wine bottles, which I like. So here we've got our wine tasting area with our vineyard employees to sell, wondering where all the customers are, as well as these upright wine kegs. We've got these wine barrels. So lots of options. These are some of the new furnishings, these tables, benches, and chairs. These are the rustic ones, and I think their rustic version this time is really nice. I like the details on it. I used it quite a bit for my outdoor seating. So we also got these new cheese boards. Grape board, which is also a cheese board. I mean, they both have grapes and cheese. And this plate, cheese serving plate. There we go. You can see they all have similar names. So perfect for going with your wine tasting, cheese and wine event. So up here is another new thing that I'm very excited about. They gave us beehives. So as well as the honey, we've got a reason for the honey to be produced. So this is the large one, and you can have it active or deactivate it. And I find it's actually harder to see the bees on this one. At the small beehive, boy, they are very noticeable. So that is exciting. Those are fun details to add. They also gave us some more equipment. So you got your little beekeeper smoker handheld. I wish they gave us the hat with the netting on it. Our jars of honey sealed. Our little honey dipper. And I decided sharpest night would be up here to be my little beekeeper. And I planted lots of flowers for them. Because of course I did. Just as a note, while you can stick furnishings up here on these little raised areas, you cannot go there yourself. I was most annoyed. I'm like, I can totally get up this. But yeah, no, that's all no man's land. I'm guessing they're trying to keep us from overdoing our builds and running out of slots, but it's annoying. I hate when it's perfectly usable land and they won't let us up on it. So we'll go inside the somewhat sparsely decorated house here. The indoor wine tasting room and sort of / restaurant-y thing is well decorated, but the actual house part of it not so much. But I still wanted to show you. We got a couple little seating areas here with two different new little Colovian armchairs. So here's one with the back. I really like the color scheme on these. The lamp, nice little parlor table. And on the other side, we have these backless ones. Sort of remind me of the little green floral ones that you have from Eleanor. Only they're thinner and red. Here's another of the little trees. This one's a sapling, all in fall. Little bushes in appropriate colors, and that is the leaf pile I've used to fill that. The leaf pile looks sort of awkward under the trees outside. I'm gonna admit I had it out there originally, and it's not quite the right colors, and it's very flat and weird looking, but it makes a nice filler for if you're doing a self created little planter here. So that's nice. And this is the bench. These are the big bookshelves. I set up a little living room here. So the beds make excellent couches. I had looked at them and thought they would, and they do. I like them. That's new couches. So this is sort of the slightly less well put together living room downstairs. I guess it's the public one. That's why it's so empty. Kind of tried to put together a bathroom, but as I said, I was running out of slots, so it's not very well put together. And there's really nothing new except for the curtains and this divider here and the light fixtures. So, yeah, they didn't give us anything really exciting to make a bathroom out of. I just wanted to include one. I do love, look at how they've painted these walls. They've got the trees and sort of a grape motif all painted on the walls, and I really enjoy that aspect of this house. I mean, the house is actually really interestingly built anyways, but I'm trepidatiously excited for when we get building materials of this style. I'm really hoping we get a lot, because I could see a lot of potential. But as I just said, we did not get building materials for this style yet, so I have borrowed some lay-in ones to seal these rooms. So I decorated this room in all of the noble furnishings. I put two of the beds together to make it slightly more bed-shaped. I'm wondering where their blankets are. Do they sleep with no blankets? It's a little chilly looking. Not to my taste. So again, the room divider. This is the wardrobe. This is the dresser. Sort of smallish. The little table mirror. And all of the mirrors, all the Colovian mirrors you can break. So I assume we're getting a vampiric theme. No, I haven't actually played the area. I focused on making housing stuff, because that's sort of my main goal with any area. I will enjoy the story later. But they do have some beautiful new paintings, and they're quite large. So I appreciate that. So that's the noble Colovian stuff. For bedroom, here we've got the smaller bookcases that are filled, and the larger ones. And I did the family living room up here. think this one turned out a little better. I also use this space here. You could do a lot of things with this room. I decided it should be the master bedroom. And again, we have some of the painting on the walls. So these are the wall mirrors, and again, you can break them, which is very interesting. I love the detailing on them. Very pretty. This is one of the planters that they gave us with full foliage in it. I really appreciate that. The little jewelry box. This is the other little noble bookcase. Kind of a lot of wasted space on it, but hey, it's pretty. And of course, my cobbled together bed, canopy bed. So these are some of the curtains they gave us. These are the very fancy curtains. We've put two of the beds together in there. And then I've got some lighting fixtures to sort of fill in the gaps and light the whole thing up. I think it works-ish, sort of. I also discovered two of these little tiny dressers together make a more reasonable sized dresser. It looks more appropriate, I think. Okay. So this bedroom down here, I used all of the rustic furnishings in. So it's a rustic wardrobe, the rustic room divider, another wardrobe, another of the bookcases like we saw outside, chest, and the bed. And I've got a couple of the rugs in here, as well as another pretty painting. I had a full set of rugs. I intended to have them displayed all over for you guys to see. Unfortunately, ran out of slots and just sort of gave up on the rugs. Tried to set this one up a little bit more like a nice window nook to read in. My cat is attacking a bug at the moment. Really hoping it doesn't fly over into my face while I'm recording. So this was going to be the kitchen, but we ran out of slots before we could finish. But I did want to show off the new kitchen-y items. So we've got our cheese making stuff, sieve and whisk. We've got our new cheeses, as well as the various different food items here. A honeycomb, poultry meal, and of course the two cheese boards. And this rack of rustic cheeses, which is just... Those are going in all my houses, in all of the pantries. I need the cheeses. I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't really need cheese, but you know. So this is our indoor wine tasting area and sort of restaurant, although I don't serve much in the way of actual food. Set this up sort of like Xandar here was having a nice date, but I didn't have another companion to have him have a date with. Whatever. So you can see the other planters here I've stuck in the windows. They're really nice. Nice tables. These benches are listed under couches, by the way. And here on our bar, again, our honey to sell. Our wine. And some people waiting for customers. Sorry guys, customers aren't going to be here anytime soon. There's a whole clan of vampires out there somewhere. This is their wine rack, which I thought was very interesting. Different sort of wine rack. And again with the beautiful trees painted on the walls. And this is quite architecturally quite an interesting room. Okay. So I didn't really build much for this, but I did do one little thing, and that is set this up here as our outdoor event area. And of course it's raining. Very appropriate for where I live, where it's always raining. So this is my little outdoor event area I created. I just wanted to show off the potential of these furnishings. I know if you play the game and do housing, you've probably seen people create like little outdoor venues like this, but now we have so many more items to work with. So, including my floating cheese board. I love how stuff floats after. This was not floating the other day. So weird. Oh, that one's off the edge. It's gonna have to float. So we got somebody here to sell us their wares. Sadly not Khajiit. No Khajiit selling wares. Better look at that planter. Such fine weather for my tour. Fire pit out here just in case they wish to cook their cheese. So yes, my favorite, no, not my favorite. Now we're going to my favorite part of the new furnishings we got, and sort of what this area doesn't really fit with everything else, but we're making it work. So as well as the Colovian stuff, we also got a new batch. Oh, by the way, this is a new bush. Squat maple bush. We also got a new set of Dawn wood furnishings. And they sort of go along with the theme of the druidic stuff, the wood elf stuff, along those lines. Would be lovely to use in combination with, I think. So here's some of the hanging lanterns. Got a little stone table all grown up. I love this. I love this theory. I even built a house with this idea of growing like your platform up to create a house. So very excited to see this. Got some new food items and drinks. This is a lighting fixture. Chair. Not bad for a chair. If you sit bolt upright, that could be comfortable. If you don't, you're going to smack your head. I suppose it's for smaller framed people, though, and not my giant Nord. She's a bit tall. You can see they've got the bench here as well. This is the bed. I just poured it here as another like seating area. But that's the bed. So little lanterns. So yeah, the Vineyard caters to all sorts of customers. Another one of the meals with their little bone forks. Here's a look of that lights all by itself. That's the crystals. They also have this cauldron closed, so that's really nice. So yeah, again, that hanging lantern. And we've got the little sprouted one here. Single. the chest. We've got the short little 3-strand ones. And then up there is the longer strand of them. So lots of options for lighting. I love these little lights. And we got this beautiful hammock, which I went back after and looked at the wood elf hammocks again, and this is just so much nicer looking. I love the vines and how they're all entwined, and the decorations on it make it look like it's, somebody's proud to have it in their home. Oh, and this is a little pitcher. Dawnwood pitcher. So I tried to use all of the Dawnwood furnishings just to give an idea of their potential and make a little Dawnwood-esque area out here for them to come and enjoy the winery as well. And this tree, giant Dawnwood growth. So I had to include it. It's perfect for displaying all of it, isn't it? So I hope you enjoyed your tour of the Dawnwood Winery here. It was fun to decorate, a little challenging, because, as I said, I had plans that sort of went out the window because I ran out of slots. The big windmill in the back there was not up there. I moved it up there to have it out of the way and yet still visible, and it came with the place. It was there even when I had it undecorated, but it's not for sale in the store yet. So curious to see if we get that with the furnishings or if that's a one-time thing here. Interesting. So, well, I hope you enjoyed your tour. I hope this gave you some inspiration for when this build shows up in the really real game instead of here on the PTS. And I hope you'll stick around and watch the next video for the other house they gave us. Okay, thanks for watching.